Ladies and gentlemen, good Saturday morning to you. I'll start out with some good news. Asterisk. A tsunami is not expected from the 4.9 earthquake that just hit Valdez, Alaska. Man, I have been saying a tsunami is not expected a lot this last week or two. Now for the bad news. Rapid intensification is expected from Hurricane Ian, which is just a tropical storm right now, but is expected to strengthen into Wednesday when it's supposed to make landfall. Here, Mark Sudduth is letting us know. This is from the 11 a.m. advisory, which came out a half hour ago. Ian is forecast to rapidly strengthen later this weekend. Hurricane conditions possible in the Cayman Islands early Monday. And being your planetary defense commander, I will say that you cannot rule out Category 4 or even Category 5 for future Hurricane Ian. So if you were in Florida, I would be making your preparations now. Remember, my advice is anything over a Category 2, I would not want to stick around for, not just for the wind or the water, but for the long extended power outages you could experience. For example, hurricane or extratropical thingy Fiona just hit Nova Scotia and now partially Newfoundland. And there are hundreds of thousands of power outages. That is this one here. And then this is the one we are tracking now, which will probably be affecting Florida, hitting Florida on Wednesday or Thursday this week. And from the water vapor, it does not look promising. So I would make preparations. This will definitely go through some pulses, ups and downs over the next few days. The very latest NOAA cone track is out. And remember, this is just a basic idea where major impacts will be and where the track may be. Nobody knows yet. It will continue to change a bit over the next few days. But this has shifted to the west and north. So right now, it is projected to make landfall somewhere around here, but that also could change because this is 2022, y'all. The King Euro has it making landfall on the southern tip around Wednesday. The GFS has it going much higher and much harder towards Destin Miramar in the Panhandle on Thursday. The CMC Music Factory takes it into the same area on Friday, and the Icon splits the differences, puts it in the middle of the shaft, but at a very strong hurricane. Now, models have it strengthening up until about here and then losing strength due to shear. But, man, I would definitely be watching this one if you're in the projected path. One thing we track very adamantly here at THORnews is the yellow. The yellow can be anywhere from 15 to 20 inches of rain. That doesn't even count storm surge. And so you're starting to see yellow around the middle of the shaft and then up for northern Florida. And then you can see the entire coast, or the southern half of the East Coast, getting anywhere from 5 to 8, 9, 10 inches of rain. So this is probably going to have some super duper major mega impacts, yo. I will nerdily be tracking this for you as much as possible. I don't do fundraisers anymore. But if you wanted to send me a donation or contribution as a way of thanks, I got a way in the information box. I got a PayPal, Venmo, CashApp. And all thank yous are greatly appreciated. You guys are awesome and amazing. Yeah, it's getting crazy out there. And like I said, I put us on a 30-day super alert like 5 or 6 days ago. And this definitely falls in the scope of that. And with 6 planets retrograde, everything feels like a drag. You know what I'm saying? But this definitely does not look good. We're just trying to figure out the basics, but this has it making landfall about 120 to 140 hours from now. But Wednesday will be here before you know it. So make your preps now. This definitely looks like a bit like peak hurricane season. In non-hurricane news, spaceweather.com is saying the sun shoots like an Imperial stormtrooper. Shoot, shoot, miss. Yesterday, pair of bright coronal mass ejections left the sun. Both are off target. And NASA canceled its SLS Artemis launch due to the hurricane and stuff. You got your first auroras of autumn And you got quite a few sunspots on the sun, 6 right now. So, interesting days. You knew that, though, already, right? You got Canadians teaching you how not to lose your trampoline during a hurricane, if you were looking for advice. Dave Eaglefraz showing us some nice solar prominences. Ooh, man, the sun is always very interesting. Yeah, without a doubt, buckle up. Still got about 24 days left in my wild warning. And this is extratropical Fiona moving over Nova Scotia and Newfoundland as the sun rises upon it. And you can definitely expect the Pickle Rick hurricane expected winds to extend over Florida as we get closer. It's best to stay cool, play defense, prepare for the worst, and pray for the best. Ben Knoll is pretty concerned about Ian strengthening into a very intense hurricane if it turns across the eastern Gulf of Mexico. The ocean heat content in the eastern Gulf into the western Florida is at super hot, and it's near its highest point in the last decade. Here we can see how the cone has shifted over the last 6 or so runs. It's brought to us by Steve Caparota. Evolution of the first 6 forecasts for TD9 Ian from southwest Florida, now getting closer to the Big Bend. And it's almost completely missing Cuba on landfall. And the less land interaction it has with Cuba, the more chance it has to strengthen. And Cuba's isn't that mountainous, so either way, this has a chance of being a very, very, very strong hurricane. And Jim Cantori says, in addition to the aforementioned, there are major differences in eastern trough position beyond Sunday. What Ian is and where it will be will only be further exacerbated by this. All of the factors are huge players in where Ian will eventually wind up, so please strap in for a wild ride, but try to strap in away from where the major effects are going to be, because you don't want to be strapped in and then get flooded, you know. Here, incredible video showing near 50-foot waves churned up by Category 4 Hurricane Fiona, a few hundred miles southwest of Bermuda. The video was captured by a sail drone, one of NOAA's new robotic surfboards that can gather weather data and measure sea heights inside hurricanes. And we've got some double blasts from the sun. This were yesterday. But the sun is definitely pumping out some serious energy, buddy. And some of that serious energy turns into auroras. Here, Tree Tanner from Team Tanner showing us the aurora display last night. So everybody get ready. It's going to be a wild week ahead. Brendan me, more like Brendan you, saying, dang, Canada just keeps winning. All right, everybody be back. I'll be back with further updates. But please, stay cool. God bless everyone.